Good morning. This is Rebecca Cohen. I am the founder of the healing system, The Path to Heal. This is my second group healing session. Last week I did one on viruses, and I'm finding that we share common energy if we share a common set of symptoms that are causing us discomfort. And so that group healing can get to the root of why not just an individual is feeling these symptoms of discomfort, but why a group can also have something in common when they are feeling these symptoms of discomfort. I'm using the methodology that I have developed over the last 10 years called The Path to Heal. And it's a healing system that gets to the psycho-spiritual root of why we struggle. We could be working with any issue. I think of issues as something called illuminating conditions, in that there any discomfort, any dis-ease that we have is actually a gift on some level, helping us illuminate our path to healing. And this methodology that was gifted to me, and that I worked with my clients to develop, helps us decode why we hold on to struggle rather than releasing it. So I'm going to get started on the session, and you will see that when I do the session, I use crystals and tuning forks to raise our vibration to unconditional love. And then I muscle test, and when I muscle test, this is a yes, this is a no. It's something that I teach. It's something that everybody can learn. I also sometimes just let my finger go down. And it gives very accurate reading, especially during path sessions, of why we hold on to something rather than release it. And during a session, I often go to one of the books that I've developed, or I fill in blanks in sentences. And so I have all different protocols for the Path to Heal, and they all have blanks that I can fill in. And what happens through muscle testing is I muscle test what to put in the sentences. And then if I had a client here in person, I would read the sentence to them, and we would work through it, through the client's understanding of it, or sometimes I have to get more information. And the working through it process is very, very beneficial, because the end state is the client receiving an emotional aha. And that aha is about an emotional state that the client usually isn't 100% aware of, and bringing that state into consciousness, and then the client getting the aha releases that state from inside the client's energy. And then the beautiful thing that happens is that physical conditions and emotional conditions can now clear, because the blocks to clearing have been released. So I'm going to do this session on helping to heal anxiety and depression. And I, not recently, but 15 or 20 years ago, went through a 2 or 3 year period where I was really, really suffering from anxiety. So my energy, having some ability to relate to what chronic anxiety is about, will help when it comes to muscle testing through this system to see what I need to do for everybody. And the first technique that I'm going to do with my crystals is to help people become walking beings of manifestation of anything that they want to heal. So, excuse me, I'm going to use my tuning forks to open the session. What these tuning forks also do, I'm just looking for a crystal over here, because my the system is of the vibration of pure love, is this beautiful pure vibration of the system ensures that all the energy that I bring in to the session is of pure love, and that my muscle testing is of pure love, so that everything that I pull up in a Path to Heal session will be beneficial to anyone who can relate to it. So I'm going to start by understanding what dimension of the path to heal we are going to use. And I have been lucky enough to have, I'm not great with the camera here, to have created this angel deck, Embraced by Your Angels card deck. And I received, I discovered who the biblical angels were, just through research. And then I received guidance from each angel as to what to put on this card. And so I'm going to pick a card for everybody in the group. And the card is Seraphina. I am here to enhance the open and loving communication between you and your loved ones. I will help you experience your family's love, even if your family has forgotten that only love is real. So this is going to help you experience the family's love, even if the family has forgotten that only love is real. And this is going to help whoever's watching and their whole family remember that no matter what the circumstances, at the bottom of it, only love is real. Now it's a sort of catchphrase in New Age philosophy that only love is real. And when you've been through a lot of pain and suffering, it can be kind of an annoying catchphrase. But what I have discovered through the healing process is when you allow your conditions to guide you, then you can experience them as love, rather than something adversarial that you have to squash. If those conditions are used to illuminate the path to heal, then they are of love. And because this is about the energies of you and your family, those energies, so when you start to use your conditions to help guide you to a more loving state, the family may feel like they're trying to bring you down, but in the end, everybody will enjoy that energy and that transformation, and your loved ones, your true loved ones, will follow you on your enlightened path. So along with this card of Seraphina, I have recently written a companion book to my card deck called Meditate with Your Angels, and this is available on Amazon. But I am muscle testing and getting that I need to go through a quick meditation with the angel Seraphina, and I'm going to read you what's in the book. So I am the angel of family harmony. The only reason that family can be disharmonious is to push each other to grow into deeper love by discovering the adversarial qualities. I'm going to read that again. I am the angel of family harmony. The only reason that family can be disharmonious is to push each other to grow into deeper love by overcoming the adversarial qualities of the relationships. So to work with me, this is the message from Seraphina, diffuse clary sage oil and breathe it in for a few minutes. So I am going to, on behalf of everybody in this group who's watching, I'm going to breathe in clary sage. And if you have any, please breathe it in also, or put it in your diffuser. And we know sage to be a clearing energy, lifting our vibration. And I'm going to read this meditation slowly, and I will join with the meditation. Then enter a meditative state and visualize the first loved one that has given you pain. So if you can just close your eyes for a second, and negative visualizations don't tend to last long. So it's okay to only do this for a second. So visualize a loved one that is giving you pain. Allow that visualization to come in and then release it. Then ask this loved one, why are we in pain? And the answer will always be some form of to teach you unconditional self-love. So I'm going to go in and ask this loved one, why are we in pain? And the answer I'm getting is to discover truth and hold on to it. And once you do, the pain will dissipate. So then, Serafina will send love to your rejected aspects of self. So any part of self that you don't like, that's part of you. And the exercise is to know what parts of self you don't love, and then to accept those parts of self. Allow yourself to know those parts of you that you don't love, and then work partially with me today and in the future to see why every part of self is actually beautiful. I will send love to your this is Serafina again. I will send love to your rejected aspects of self until there is only love. I will then send the love through your genetic line so that these rejected aspects of self are now loved by all. And you can repeat this step and after this group session with each for each loved one that is in pain, and have that dialogue. Energetically listen to what that loved one is trying to teach you through their pain and what you are trying to teach that loved one through your pain. And then allow the angel, now this is Angel Serafina. It's okay if you don't relate to Angel Serafina. Allow any energy from the inside and from the outside that feels loving to raise your vibration, to allow yourself to see that anything we go through, no matter how dark it is teaching us to connect more deeply to our own truth. And as we connect more deeply to our own truth, then we will have no choice but to feel more loving. And sometimes connecting to those truths and acting on them may feel very disruptive to those around you because they're not, you feel that they aren't congruent to those around you. But what I have discovered through all of this healing is that our hearts are always congruent. And so when you follow your heart from the deepest level, in the end, the energies around you will shift to show love to that possibly disrupting force, but that force that will bring you to a greater level of understanding of yourself and understanding of the world in peace and harmony. So that is the first piece that I did, and it is from my book, Meditate with Your Angels. Now I'm figuring out where to go next. I'm going into my book, Plant Medicine. And this book is primarily a list of essential oils and their benefits. And I have worked with these oils for a couple of years, and I have really felt into the oils, and I received guidance, only loving guidance. And so this book helps us understand how the oils can help us heal on a deeper level. And I'm just going to muscle test to see which oil we're going into. And I'm going into pine. So luckily pine is not an incredibly difficult oil to find. The one I have here is, the one I have here is from Wisdom of the Earth. And, but I look for oils from a couple different companies. Usually I use doTERRA, Wisdom of the Earth, or Eden's Garden. Eden's Garden ships for free, so I'm going to give them a little plug. I'm a distributor of doTERRA, but I look for oils that are harvested in their natural environment, because oils have been given to us to be our healers. So oils harvested from their natural environment have kept the purity of what they are on this world to heal. And so all three companies that I mentioned do that. So I just smelled the white pine, and I'm going to tell you all of the things that white pine, according to my association with this oil, heals. And that's sinus congestion, inflammation, phlegm, stress, viruses, cell function, fertility, and if you find that you're having difficulties with your own personality. And the emotional situation balanced are bitter, and my defense mechanisms keep me safe. In any discomfort, any dis-ease that we hold on to is a defense mechanism. And so, especially with anxiety and depression, they are defense mechanisms to keep us from completely and totally knowing who we are, because our mind is off somewhere else and not in a happy place. Because there is something about who we are that we don't like. I mean, this is true for everybody on the planet, which is why we all have some form of anxiety and depression. It may not be debilitating, but, and we don't like aspects of self because some point along the way, we got criticized for holding on to these aspects of self. So what we do with pine, if you're lucky enough to have it, you can put it in your diffuser today. If not, and if you feel like you're relating to this session, purchase it. And the spiritual opening associated with pine, and this is something that you would say, I celebrate others and myself as I see the world as bright and beautiful. And that is why this is spiritually lifting, because you put this in your diffuser, you allow it to enter the energy, and you say, I celebrate others and myself as I see the world as bright and beautiful. So the aspects of ourself that we're holding on to negative energy towards, the high vibration of this essential oil, along with the affirmation, will help us release out of that feeling of anxiety and depression. So this was pine oil. I'm going to say it one more time, the affirmation. I celebrate others and myself as I see the world as bright and beautiful. So I am now going to continue to see what I am going to help everybody with anxiety and depression with through muscle testing, through the Path to Heal. This book that I'm looking at now is just a Path Practitioner manual called Unbridled Joy. So this one is not available. But there is a section in it, I believe, about depression. And then this guides me as to what people with depression have in common. So I have to do a card spread now called Energized Transformation. And this card spread uses all the card decks that I have created. And I'm doing one of these spreads, meaning that I pull cards to align with the energy that I'm trying to bring out. And so I'm just doing this one called Energized Transformation. And so I'm going into all of my different card decks. And the first deck that I'm using, I'm pulling one card from this to help us understand our loving relationships. And this deck is my peace deck. And the card says, consciousness of peace. I see myself as perfectly imperfect. So that's the opposite of hating those aspects of self that seem a little off. Instead, I see myself as perfectly imperfect. Therefore, I release defensiveness and righteousness as I discover peace. My consciousness spreads, shifting the planet's vibration to peace. So if we find internal peace, then the entire planet starts to shift. So that's the first one. I am going to try and post, since I'm new to this Facebook Live thing, I'm not sure I can, but I'm going to try and post all the cards that I did for this session after the session so you can see them more closely. The next one is from my blue deck, which is my blessings deck. And the blessings deck it's to help us with our life affirming work. And the card says communion. I embody the divine, releasing tension and dis-ease, creating an infinite ability to solve problems and release struggle. So I know that every problem that we have, there are an infinite number of solutions, even when it feels like there are zero solutions. So any problem that we come across, the energy of this card in this session is going to help us breathe in, relax, and experience the infinite number of solutions to the problem. The next card I am pulling is from my love deck, and it's for good health. Adventure. I lovingly release that which is no longer aligned with my truth, which has been the theme of this whole session. That if it's not aligned with your truth, don't hold on to it because you feel you should. If you release that which isn't aligned with your truth, you will automatically feel better and start the healing process. So I lovingly release that which is no longer aligned with my truth, thereby making space for exciting, painless, adventurous life. So if we align with our truth and don't chase our truth away, then our life becomes painless. And then the last one is for the deck of ease, which is something everyone's looking for. So, and this card is for financial freedom. And it is adventure is bliss. So we also have a theme of adventure. Go on that adventure, even if it feels like it might be disruptive. And it doesn't have to, I adventure every day with the Path to Heal. So it doesn't necessarily mean adventuring outside of your house. However, it can. But for me, even when I am home in my home, the Path to Heal is an adventure for me every day. And it's because I am doing something that is true to me that might not be true to anybody else. If it is true to other people, beautiful, join along. But because it's true to me and it's exciting and it's new and I get to learn something new every day and work on new problems every day, it is an adventure. So the card says, adventure is bliss. I experience diverse culture experiences and thought as non-threatening. Always the key to adventure, because if we experience diverse thought, diverse culture as threatening, then we stay in our house and don't learn something new every day. We just stay with what's safe. So that is the key to adventure. So I'm going to read it again. I experience diverse culture, experiences, and thought as non-threatening and exciting. Every day is a blissful adventure. Okay, so let me go back to my path itself and see if there is anything else I'm going to do on this session for lifting our vibration out of anxiety and depression? I get no. Since this is only my second Facebook Live, I've kind of asked that these sessions only last a half hour. But I do appreciate the 3 friends, people I know and love dearly, who are watching this today live. You know, you kind of try and do it early Sunday morning, and maybe you'll get away with not too many people seeing you live. But as I'm getting more used to this, the energy of 3 very supportive people who I can tell are watching right now is going to help me get braver and braver and go deeper and deeper into my own adventure and do this, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon next time. So the summary is getting in touch with the energies of ourself that we don't like, allowing us to review those, allowing us to see them, and finding the aspects of that imperfection that we can love. Because there is not an aspect of ourself that isn't lovable in one way or another. And as you go on that allowing yourself to feel what you don't love and allowing yourself to love what you don't love, then your vibration rises, and your and it gets easier. Now, an individual Path to Heal session may help as well, but it just gets easier. And then when you start to love those imperfect aspects of self, that's where the adventure begins. Because then you're not so confined with what may get criticized and the shoulds, and then you align with your own personal adventure, and it's going to be different for each and every one of us. And that adventure, sometimes difficult, but often exciting, will raise our vibration. And so instead of being in a state of fear and worry, we're in a state of joy and excitement about life. And the last piece of it is that every problem has unlimited solutions. So as we come in that adventure of life, as we hit problems and we experience the opening of unlimited solutions to every problem, then we're not so afraid anymore, because we know that there are always answers. They may not come in the form that we expect. They may be out there, and they may cause us to take further risks, but they are always there. So I am going to close the session with pure love. Please feel free. I'm going to post it, and it is shareable through I do not believe that these links are shareable through the Path to Heal page, but I will post this link again on my Becky Cohen page, and it is shareable if you feel that this would be beneficial for anybody that you know. So thank you, and thank you for coming.